then as I was getting closer to start writing the piece, we hit the COVID. The pandemic, yeah. At the time I was actually in Amsterdam. We had some event composers visiting the workshop with Roadrunner Trio. They had their composition workshop. And we had some event composers from Wuhan visiting. We managed to get away from it very luckily, just no one was affected. But I kind of like had a very close encounter with that, beside all the other experiences that I had in my life. So I started to get a little bit more reflective and start to think about maybe human condition and the fact that we are seeking for certain things, all of us in different cultures, different places. We may call it different things, but at the end, if we are detached from the names, more or less they are the same. So I was kind of like looking at the intercultural theme to start with. And often when I'm doing that, I feel that maybe one of the languages that is quite neutralized is Latin. So I end up like using Latin sometimes intentionally just to get things clear without any biases toward like one or the other culture. So that's why I started with a Latin title. I thought that I would like to have way of presenting the drama, this story, that won't require translation, would be free from languages, be more universal in that sense, but then at the same time be free from the politics of humans. So like if it's in each place, they may not need to go through approval of the text that oh, this is not okay, or you should change this word or that word. So that was part of my thinking. As I got started to write the piece, the other thing that I encountered was actually occasion of bicentennial of Beethoven. So I was thinking about him as well, and in the middle of a piano lesson, I realized that I really like the second theme in the second movement of first piano sonata for this piece. So da 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 da, and which is the accompaniment actually. It's not even the main theme. It's just a background accompaniment that he's using. So I thought I would like to bring that into my piece. So give it a little bit, maybe an encounter between a Germanic culture and other cultures in it. Then gradually the piece became about a singer who has lost his or her voice, basically, can't say the words, and just tries to say a prayer or sing a love song. It could be either one. Like "Oh my," the only two words that's basically she sings appear both as like "Oh my God" or "Oh my love," and in many languages and cultures that I kind of like can read. So it's something that I thought that that could be just that she can't go any further than that and struggling with communication. And the drama of the piece became basically the struggle of the singer within herself, and the ensemble is somehow dramatizing it, at times reflecting the voices in her mind. At times she's reacting, like trying to quiet that, like shh or get frustrated with like as if that's enough, let's stop. But then by the end, she feels comfortable just singing "Oh my," and so it's a journey, which I think that it's the journey of us at the present time, and if we can go through that journey together, perhaps we can solve many things. I have many various influences in my music, and this one I'm not shying away. Like I mentioned, Beethoven. There's a reference to gamelan and the way that they use gong. There is a clear reference to Chinese music. the references to Japanese music and the way that they pace and the mode that they have. The references to like ornamentation and melodic development in Persian chant and Indian music. So there are many different references, and different people would find different things in different places. It may not be exactly what I was thinking at the time, but because I've been working with all these, I feel that all these cultures are influencing all my decisions at the point. And the piece is based on like proportions, as most of the time. I like the golden proportions, and both in harmony and the form and shape of the piece. Now about the lowercase letters. Perhaps that's one of the first things that I learned in English, that lowercase letters could imply some modesty. So, like, I'm not saying we should speak without words, but maybe without words would be easier if we just listen to the meaning of each other. Would be easier to understand what everyone has to say. Often we get stuck to the form and shape of the not the content. And so I often use the lowercase to just kind of like make it a little bit more of a plea, maybe, rather than an order. The other thing is that the instrumentation is a little bit different. I'm using Lan as a singer, so she's kind of like she's not out of comfort zone. She's been singing for quite some time, but she was in awe when she saw the score, because I got into a little bit of more detail of even how she, the posture of her mouth, singing different vowels, because there are not many words. So I kind of like, I want to orchestrate it, even using the mouth posture. The piece is very delicate, so I needed to do that. And so she was a little bit concerned at the beginning, but she's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, from what I heard.
And then the ensemble, basically, I looked at it as pairs. So somehow, maybe, again, the analogy of love or prayer, that it's always two. So pairs of flute and shao. That's why I chose shao, which is more mellow. And then arhu and cello, which I even use mute for the cello to sound the same as arhu. Now in this performance we won't have the arhu. We would have neither arhu or gahu. We will have just violin in my piece. Yeah, so Lan is not playing, so she's only singing. And then we have two pairs of guitar, and the only people that are individual are the singer and percussion, who is kind of like ironic as well in the piece, because they are the pair that form the ensemble. So it's kind of like I thought of the ensemble as pairs, as groups of two.